We now move towards our second panel discussion for the day. The rapidness in organizational change is the end result of the changing customer preferences. Today's organizations need to be far-sighted in their vision to incorporate effective and efficient change. The focus needs to be on value creation rather than on mere output delivery. The second panel discussion intends to explore the various development models and processes required to be adopted by today's organizations to incorporate effective value creation. The topic for this panel discussion is Evolving to an Agile Organization.
To begin with, we now invite our distinguished panel. I request Mr. Devi Prasad Das, moderator of the panel discussion, to please come up on the stage.
I request the audience to give a round of applause.
Sir is currently the Senior Vice President, HR Excellence, People Risk, Compliance and Control with Atos Global. With a total of over 24 years of rich HR experience spanned across industries such as engineering, continuous process and information technology, his experience spans in the area of employee relations, recruitment, employee engagement, organizational learning and change, employee performance, and reward management. Building people strategy for organization. Previously, Sir has worked in leadership positions with companies such as Tech Mahindra, Infosys Technologies, Godrej, GE Appliances, and Advani Olicon Limited. We welcome you, sir, to Conexion'13.
I now request our next speaker, Ms. Anjali Chatterjee, Vice President, HR, Tata Communications, to please come up on stage. With 23 years of work experience across industries and in companies like LG Electronics and Jet Airways, Ma'am has spent the last 10 years in Tata Communications, and currently she heads Global Talent Management, Engagement and Development. As a part of her portfolio, Ma'am is currently focusing on cross-cultural diversity management. We welcome you, Ma'am, to Conexion'13.
Moving on to our next speaker, I would now like to invite Mr. Rajendra Kembavi, HR Director, Tech Mahindra, to please come up on stage. Sir has been leading the HR practices at Tech Mahindra for the last 6 years. Prior to that, Sir was working with Reliance Infocom for 5 years. Sir has also been associated with organizations like Spencer RPG and Mercedes-Benz. We welcome you, sir, to Conexion'13.
Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker, Mr. Vivian Fernandez, Head HR, Electrocard Services. Sir, I would request you to please come up on stage. Sir is currently heading Human Resources at Electrocard Services with over 17 years of experience in HR and recruitment with various IT companies. Sir has worked with large and mid-sized services and product companies. He's a postgraduate in personnel management from Pune University. Sir has previously worked with Tech Mahindra, Sybase, Sinocron, and Aprova. Sir, we are honored to have you amongst us at Conexion'13. I request you to please be seated.
Now, it's my privilege to introduce you all to our next speaker, Mr. Muralidhar Shyam, Head HR, ATC India. Sir has worked extensively in the most challenging IR and core HR domains over 20 years in various telecom, media, and automobile industry. An expert in people integration and change management in mergers and acquisitions, rolling out startup organization, he has anchored HR due diligence, change management, and people integration for acquired entities of American Tower in India as HR leader and leading HR practices for ATC's India's integrated operation. Prior to ATC, Sir has been associated with organizations like Bharti Infratel Limited, Indus Towers Limited, Benetton Coleman Limited, Bharti Airtel Limited, and Escorts Limited. Your revered presence at Conexion'13 is a privilege for us.
I now request Mr. Baliram Mutagekar, Head HR, Persistent Systems Limited, to please come up on stage. With over 12 years of experience in IT industry, Sir is presently leading team of business partner HR professionals at Persistent Systems Limited. Previously, he was heading HR of SEZ Hinjewadi and was responsible for various HR aspects at Center. Prior to that, he was responsible for overall planning, hiring, quality freshers, and bridging the industry academic gap by various initiatives. Your revered presence at Conexion'13 is an honor for us.
I now request our next panel member, Mr. Harish Devani, Regional Head, Sales, Radwin, to please come up on stage. Sir has over 20 years of experience in sales and marketing with focus on key account management in telecom. For past 4 years, Sir has been working with Radwin Limited, a leading provider of wireless equipment. In his vast career, Sir has been managing large telecom accounts like Tata, Vodafone, Idea, and Tekona. Sir has been leading companies' business in south and west of India to develop business in government and various other verticals. At Radwin, Sir is responsible for the appointment of Tier 1 distributors and Tier 2 partners to increase the reach in telecom markets. We welcome you, Sir, to Conexion'13.
I now hand over the proceeding to Mr. Devi Prasad Das, moderator of today's panel discussion.
Good afternoon. It's a good day today, and especially when I'm moderating this distinguished panel members, including one person from sales. Why, today morning I saw on TV, there is a good debate going on Lok Sabha, so I'm very inspired. So it worked. So today it worked. I think it's a good day for panel discussion. That was on a lighter note, but seriously, you heard 25 years, 24 years, 23 years, all these years we have spent in industry. And every day seems to be very different and very new. And we are realizing that almost if you ask me, I should go out and see at the other side with you. Because every day is very different. And with things that you are hearing happening in the marketplace, the economy, technology, government policies and all, it's bringing a new set of challenges for every one of us. And that's why I said, the way I started my career 23, 24 years back, and today what we are doing, and tomorrow what would happen is very different. And I think this is the context in which our discussion had to happen. Where is this need of evolving into an agile organization? What is the need? Today you are continuously challenged, by the market. Market behaves the way it wants to and the way it is driven by technology, its policies, as I told you. Another aspect is technology. Today, you know how prime technology plays in our business. And you have to keep abreast and upgrade to ensure that you are moving faster. Growth. Now, there is a competition, huge competition. And competition in terms of what? Stakeholders' expectation from you. For example, Infosys didn't do as bad over the last few years, but just that Cognizant did better. And hence there is a huge amount of pressure on Infosys stocks. Now you have to really be ahead in the race. And today, all the people, all the stakeholders, all the employees, everyone's fate is related to this organization. We want to be a part of a success story. We want to grow up. We want to grow the organization. We want to see, if not anything, at least one part of Tata, which is huge. And therefore, there are a lot of ambition which is attached and our stake in this business. Customer need, and I will come back to Harish on this. Customers need, customer is God, so it's unparliamentary to use any word that might hurt the customer sentiment, but I would say it's within this group, it's customer aggression, They come back and they want to put their diktat, their terms, and say, you do business as we want. Okay? I saw in IT industry, years, customers said, no discussion on rate revision, always discussion on discounts, okay, year after year, and productivity improvement on the other side. Now, if I was telling someone when we were having a talk among the members, I was saying that now the customer says that if you are getting 5 in customer satisfaction rating for last 10 years, don't take me for granted. Because I know one big account we lost who came up and said, oh, 10 years you have been doing so well with us, but you have never increased the value. You have been doing the same thing over and over, you are getting paid, and we are happy with what you are doing, but you have never worked as a partner. You have never told us how to really improve and enhance value. And those kind of challenges which is coming. And finally, when we look internally, when I say in the industry, when you look at all the challenges, you look internally towards your resources, there is a huge dearth of talent and innovation. Okay, and specifically I talk about services companies where you don't really see innovation coming. You just saw one example of lean, which is more of performance improvement and doing things right way. But in terms of innovation, is everything fine? In terms of innovation, we are not there. So I think these are the challenges we are getting. And I want to start off this discussion with the context. You saw Mr. Murthy coming back again, Mr. Nayan Murthy. As soon as he came, he first said that his address to the employees, Infosys employees, was probably we will have to work more, even harder than that we used to do. And everybody was kind of panicky, saying that, Mr. Murthy, you always told that we have to have a work-life balance. And he said, he was referring to Winston Churchill, and he said, we have to change. To acquire perfection, we have to change as many times required and as fast. That's the demand. And another thing he said, that I have to lead from the front, and I might have to change some of my long-standing belief, which has made me successful. Imagine a person coming 3 decades later, and he built a huge empire, and he's saying that I might have to challenge my own philosophy or value system, which has made me successful. This is I'm just trying to imagine what is the criticality and how challenges are being posed to us at this point of time. So let me start up with, I always felt, as I said, to build an agile organization, I think you need to have a vision. Yeah, I think some of the good leaders that I was looking at and seeing, I realized that there are 2 things. One is the destination, where they wanted to go, and the impact. They knew that they will be there, okay, and the impact. So my question to you, Anjali, how do you see to have a right vision, and how can we support that with right structure and processes?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and it's great seeing you being here with the students. So, the good question, Devi, and I'll first start by reiterating, what do you mean by business agility? And I feel like by business agility, we really mean the ability to keep changing and evolving and growing within changing circumstances. Surviving within changing circumstances you can still do, but growing and winning in this changing circumstances is really what we mean by agile, an organization. And especially as you said, in today's time of globalization, everything is global, right? There's virtual communication, there's new technology, and you have, as you said, very demanding and empowered customers, right? Who are always demanding, and they are empowered today. It is a customer thing. Plus, you have, your Gen X and Gen Y and probably the next Gen Z coming through, because every time you have a new set of generation coming, the demands are exceedingly different. Exceedingly different.
True.
So how do companies really grow, and win and keep being profitable. This time is really what. And before I just go into what we did, I was just coming this morning from Mumbai to Pune, and I stopped by to have coffee, and I realized that a simple old cup of coffee has become so agile. 5, 7 years back, I would just go ask for a cup of coffee. Today, I have cappuccino, espresso, double espresso with hazelnut, without milk, and there are like at least 20 variants in a small CCD. So if a cup of coffee has become so agile to really, reach out to different customers according to their own needs, but at the same time, there's standardization. So if I have a double espresso, with a little cream and without sugar in Pune Road, I expect the same taste sitting in maybe Haryana. So this simple cup of coffee has become so agile. Anybody in this world can go to CCD and have a different cup as per their expectation and their demands. But at the same time, have that consistency. And if that's what business, really need to do. So I've been working in Tata Communication the last 10 years. And this was when I first joined there, we had just acquired VSNL. And all of you all who are from communication know when BSNL was single product selling to a single country and completely monopoly. We see today, 10 years later, it is a completely different organization. You will not recognize it at all. So we have multiple products. Last count was 63 variants of products. We're competing globally. That means we have offices, people across Canada, France, Germany, etc. And we're also competing in different industries. So we have a set of competitors in the telecom domain. We're also competing with IT domain in managed services. And we have now moved in the banking domain, and we are competing in the banking services. So I really feel that Tata Communication, and we really, changed the way we've operated for the last 10 years. And whether we like it or not, the change continues, because we do not continue to change, we will lose out. So I had made a few points. What really helped us continue changing is, sure, the question you actually asked me. One is always anticipating the future and planning for the future. So one thing we do on every 3 years, 4 months is just having some open sky discussion, what's going to happen 5 years later. And this is exceedingly important in telecom, because this is one technology which is changing every day. So one of the things we do right from top management onwards is to really look at the future, what's going to happen, and keep talking about it. That's really anticipating the future and planning for the business opportunity. So that's one thing we really do. The second thing we've really done across the last 10 years is really simplifying the business process a lot so that they can be agile. If we realize we have very fixed processes, it's very difficult to change. So as and when we change, different products, different industry, our process has to be flexible to reach those changes. We can't afford to be like when BSNL was exceedingly successful in a monopoly, and they have fixed processes. But if you're going to move and compete with IT, your process has to be flexible, and we're changing, and you're competing in the banking sector. So that's really a second one. The third one is the most important, is innovation. Innovation is the easy word, is really tough. So one of the things we're mandated to do is, as leaders and managers, is keep some time with the team, maybe almost about 1 day per month, or 8 hours per month, to just think and not do. So because we have the whole of something called Tata Innovers, which works across the company, across the group, there's a huge focus on innovating not just products, but also processes. So there's a lot of focus, a lot of recognition and rewards given for innovative products, innovative processes, innovative ideas. Obviously, it's just not ideas. We also fund them to making them a reality. Because once you get an idea, that's really not enough. There's a whole process which makes them, reality. So we really fund and give time for the innovation. And the other thing is really managing, lastly, managing the change through people. And let me tell you, I think one of the biggest constraints in changing is a people's mindset. All of us get so hassled with small changes. So I, as an L&D head, we work a lot on change management, really helping people to foresee change, adapt to the change. We do a lot of work on change management. And if you ask anybody in Tata Communication, let's say our processes, our organization structure, it evolves every 3-4 months, because of the changing needs. So these are the 3 or 4 things which, we have done in the organization to really create a evolving organization, an agile organization. And I think, every year we think it's crazy, but this from now on is going to be all the more challenging. So these are the 3 to 4 things which we've really done to, help, ourselves to be involved. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
I think, see, Tata VSNL story, everyone knows. I mean, it's really changing from a government organization to actually the leading global player. Yeah, that's the story. I just wanting to, Rajendra, I mean, we also saw Tekem, the growth and acquiring Satyam in the process. I know I want to draw your inputs into the vision and the processes to be followed. Yeah, what Anjali said. You have anything to add to that?
Sure. See, Devi, it's the way it's like this, that the global markets today are pretty uncertain, and in these kind of uncertainties, there is no one particular logic to solve a problem. What happens is the customer is so demanding today that we ought to change. Gone are the days where we felt that, okay, fine, I have 10 years, 15 years, 20 years experience, and I'm going to hang around in the organization. It doesn't work. We have to be innovative always. We have created ideation factories in the organization to ensure that there are ideas which are taken from 84,000 odd associates in the organization. We are 84,000 plus company. And we believe that our leadership is all going to be young people who are going to be in the board. So we have also launched our shadow board program where we allow juniors, people who have joined the organization with 3 and 4 years of experience, to be a part of the shadow board program. So it helps from that perspective, actually.
Thank you. I also want to put in one added point into this vision. And I want to take a small example from Atos. In 2008, okay, Atos, as you know, it's the 8th largest global IT services company. And in 2007, profit warning, founder chairman was thrown out. 2008, again, the CEO was thrown out. And this new current CEO who came in. And, we used to call ourselves Atos Horizon, and there used to be a logo of fish, okay? So this new gentleman who was the finance minister of France and then went on to become a professor in Harvard's Business School on corporate governance for 2 years, came back to become chairman of our company, okay? And he brought in two of his people. So it's a team of 3, almost like a Tech Mahindra story. And so it was called. So first 3 months, 4 months, he did assessment of all the leaders, and he came in. And then the top 400, globally we are called every 6 months to Paris or any destination where we talk about our business plans and results of 6 months. So he put it up and said, okay, there are 48,000. Those days we were 48,000 people. Today we are 80,000 people. 48,000 faces all around in the ocean, swimming every direction. Then he put another slide and he showed there is a big fish, okay, one direction. And all 48,000 small fishes following the big fish. We really felt a little awkward at that point of time, saying that, what is this? I mean, what are you doing? He said, I have a vision. I will draw out the strategy. You need to first follow. Unless we bring in absolute alignment within the organization, we are not going to grow and we are not going to really achieve it. Therefore, with the vision and with the structure, and put in the processes, complete alignment is a must. And that was a huge learning for me after that. Let me bring in Harish at this point of time. This is all driven by the organization. And you have been dealing with customer for so many years. How do you think, how should companies prepare themselves to manage client and also look internally to organize themselves to create a value proposition for the client?
I actually feel there are four major drivers which would help organization to prepare and align with the customer demands. One is we need to be adaptive to the business technology. We need to actually collect the data from the market, understand the customer requirement, innovate our products and services, which would help us to get the first, I would say, the driver initiative at the customer, and we are able to create a differentiator to the customer vis-a-vis our competition. That I feel would be the only way we can able to meet the customer demand and expectation.
Sure. So, differentiator.
Yeah.